Hey friends, Misty here. So in the I'm tired of fighting video, I mentioned that I filmed a kind of just a random walk through emotions, just raw and vulnerable video at the kitchen table Wednesday night, and how I was on the fence about posting it. But so many of you said, please post it because we need these types of things. And I said, okay. So this is before I got the letter from UT Southwestern. This is before I saw my regular doctor. This is Wednesday night, and I realized that it's the finality. Like, this is the final for this disease. Like, again, I'm still waiting for the rest of the exome sequencing, but I'm trying to stay positive that that's just going to be okay. It's just going to be okay, and we're going to keep moving. So yeah, so that's what this is. I don't think there's anything to give you a trigger warning about, but I don't know. I feel like I have to grieve before I can start making, positive progress or positive changes. And maybe that's the wrong way to look at it, but that's just kind of where I am in my headspace right now. I see my therapist, I don't know, one day next week. I really hate that. I'm going to ask her if there's any way that we can get a consistent day and time because this is hard. But yeah, so anyway, that's what this video is about. Sitting at the kitchen table, just going through whatever emotions I was working through that night. And again, if this is something that you want to see more often, just let me know. So many of us are going through this and it sucks, but I think conversations are important, and I don't feel like we have enough conversations. So yeah. All right. Be kind in the comments, please. I'm not going to be able to handle it if you are an asshole, and if you are, I'm just going to delete the comment and block you. Okay? Because that's the mood I'm in today. All right, bye. Hey friends. We're doing a kitchen table vlog. I ain't done one of these since like the end of 2019, start of 2020. Here's our tree. It's so pretty. Oh my gosh, I love it. And you can see I've got some festive pillows and do-ba-da-do. So I don't know if you do this, but I sometimes rehearse conversations. Not sometimes, I probably do it all the time. I'm sure that is a product of my childhood, but I see my primary care physician tomorrow, and I have so much to catch him up on. And I was just kind of talking and thinking aloud and kind of going over what we talked about in the last video and last update video, not the last vlog or whatever, and one thing that I said aloud that really stuck with me is there's finality in it, right? So I feel like grief is one of the things that isn't talked about in the chronic illness and chronic pain community. Not that I follow it very much, but I've never seen a video titled, grief or whatever when it comes to chronic pain or chronic illness. And it was one of you. I don't remember who it was. If it was you, I apologize. But one of you, I don't remember. It was probably July, August, September. I don't remember. It was probably after I left my job, actually. One of you said, "Misty, you're grieving." And I was like, oh, because I listed off all of the stages of grief, anger and and I was like, oh, that makes perfect sense because there's so much to grieve. You're grieving, I grieved my mobility. I grieved my having to leave my job and my career and knowing that I would probably never work again. I grieved my marriage with my husband because I knew it would never be the same. I grieved our future, all the trips we were going to do, all the things we wanted to do to the house, those kinds of things when we both were making good money, and working towards that. We were supposed to go to Disney World like in 2019, and we just couldn't go. And it is what it is. You guys know my dream has been to go to Disney World when it's decorated for Christmas. I don't need to ride a ride. I just want to ride around at night and look at it when it's decorated for Christmas. That would be my grown-up Christmas wish. So, and then like I grieved the present. I grieved just all of the things that you don't really ever think about when it comes to this, because your life literally changes. And for me, it felt like it literally changed overnight. Looking back, as I mentioned in the other video, I've probably had symptoms. And I can remember we had a really big vacation right before this happened. We went to Old Sturbridge Village. Is that in Worcester? I can never remember. He drives me around and I'm just like, oh, they all look the same. So, and I remember feeling weaker than I normally did, but we were also staying at, there's a hotel right by it. I don't remember, but the elevator was broken. So we were walking up and down steps several times a day. And I can remember having a really hard time making it through Old Sturbridge Village because I just kept getting so tired. So that might have been what triggered it. Absolutely 100%. And then again, I just didn't, like, it just didn't click that, you know, it could have been something. In hindsight, it clicks that it could have been that, but yeah. So I probably should stop saying it changed overnight, but it feels like it literally did, you know, and it all happened so fast. I can remember I became a systematic in October. And I met with my dean on June 3rd of 2017. And he said, how much money can I offer you to stay? And I said, I wish I could give you a number. I said, but I honestly don't know if I'm going to be walking in October. It had gotten to the point where I couldn't do anything. I couldn't do my job. I'd used all my sick time. I'd used all my vacation time. I literally could not do my job. And it was getting harder and harder to be able to get up, take a shower. I mean, I can't even imagine doing all that now because this is Wednesday. I've taken a shower the last 4 days in a row and I have 2 more showers this week. And I'm just like, I'm tore up today. I was like, I'm tired. I'm so tired. So I just, you know, I remember just being scared and just my body just deteriorating, you know, out from under me. Grieved friendships because, you know, that's another thing that people don't talk about is just how isolating it can be to have a chronic illness or have chronic pain, because the people in your life who you think are going to support you the most are the people in your life who fade away. When I had a friend and I was like, you can't just call me and ask me if I can meet you. I was like, that's not how it works anymore. I said, I need to know if there's handicap parking, and I need to know if I should bring my rollator or if I'm going to need to be in a wheelchair, or if they have a scooter, or, you know, did I take the Wegovy? Have I eaten anything? Like, there's so many things and questions that go into just a simple lunch that it's just, I can understand it, but it still hurts. It still hurts, right? And I've said before, you know, like, this is my community. You guys are my community, and that's it. There's like really nobody else like around me in real life. And it's hard. It's really hard. So I grieved all that. And then I can remember going back to my job with my rollator to see people and just feeling defeated. And I always said, and if you've been with me for a while, you remember, I always said, I don't care what it is as long as it's treatable. I don't care what it is as long as it's treatable. I don't care what it is as long as it's treatable. And so like the myasthenia, I was like, okay, all right. So it's treatable. The IVIG was helping. I still don't know why. If I ever get a neurologist, maybe they'll be able to tell me. So to have that just ripped out from underneath me, and I know some of you think I'm being dramatic when I say I have PTSD from that. I am not kidding. And my therapist was like, yeah, that's absolutely traumatic. I've seen 5 neurologists since January of 2021. No, January of 2022. 5. And all 5 of them tried to gaslight me into thinking there was nothing wrong with me. It was all in my head. And it's just because I'm fat. 5 neurologists. 5. So I have a lot of anger and resentment towards that. But another feeling I'm having is sadness, because this is a finality. It's final. I have a definitive diagnosis, and we definitively know that as of today, there's no treatment other than, some, physical therapy and possibly occupational therapy if necessary to kind of help give me a little bit more range of motion or, build some strength back or whatever. And that's hard, because each day is my best day that I'm going to have. And my best day today involved me getting up, making a bulletproof coffee, sitting on the couch for at least 2 hours. Did I film? I honestly don't remember what I did after that, you guys. But it's so final. It's so final. It's so final. And it's so final. And it didn't hit me until I said it out loud in that rehearsed conversation that it's so final. It's final. Like, there's joy and relief in that. And there's also despair and sadness in that, because I'll never drive again. I'll never be able to take a shower every day. I'll never be able to get dressed by myself. And yeah, the physical therapy will probably help some, but it's not I don't foresee it, taking everything away and making everything just super breezy, easy. I don't foresee that happening. Maybe it will. Maybe I should hold out hope, but my arms are throbbing right now. They're doing like that vibrating, throbbing thing. It almost feels like a pulse, but I don't think it is. So it's the finality of it all. That's really, really hard for me. And there's just been so much the last 11 months. There's just been so much. It's been one thing after the other. And I don't understand why. It was such a shitty fucking year. The fall of 2022 was a shitty fucking part of the year. I mean, and that's another thing. I'm functioning at such a high pain level. If you're someone who doesn't suffer with chronic pain or chronic illness, think of like the worst pain in your life and magnify that by 10. And that's probably me on a good day. And I am blessed and I am privileged. And I told that to my therapist. I know my privilege. I recognize it. I said, because I used to have to drive to Atoka, Oklahoma from Dallas, Texas to get healthcare because I'm Native American, and that was where the closest clinic was. Choctaw Clinic was. So I recognize our privilege. I recognize that we are able to have all of that money withdrawn from Rob's check and still somehow live day to day. That's getting harder and harder. But I think once we get into winter for a couple of months and we can start budgeting to the biggest electric bills in the summer, that will be a little bit better, but it's still really tight and probably will be for a while. There's just finality in it. I don't even know where I was going with that. And that's the thing. Like, I don't even know. Privilege. Like, I know I recognize the privilege. I do. I recognize just how lucky I am that, I was able to see 5 neurologists in a little under 2 years. I recognize that. So I'm trying to find I'm trying to find the little bits of good in all of this, because the finality of it all is excruciating. I don't know what other word. It's just excruciating. And I don't qualify for any of the clinical trials. I can't remember if I said that or not. I'm gonna have to start writing down things I talk about as I'm editing a video so I can try not to repeat myself. So yeah. I don't know. I think once I get the exome testing and I have an idea of basically everything, then maybe I can sit down and make a plan or make a something. And that's why I feel like it's so important for me to set some routines to get some kind of just a little bit of normalcy. And I've said that for 7 years, and some of you go, Misty, there's no such thing as normal. But I mean my normal. You guys, I have been fat since I was 5 years old. My mother hinted that there may have been inappropriate touching by a boy. I don't know. All I know is I was thin and then I wasn't. So I've literally been fat for 40 years. I went to school full-time and I worked full-time for 9 years. Associates, bachelor's, and master's. The master degree, I was first-year teacher and taking 9 graduate hours like a dumbass. But I've never not been busy. Ever. And it's hard. It's hard on me, and it's hard on me when you guys were like, this is so boring. Why don't you do something? Because I can't. I can't do something. I can't leave this house without my husband. I can't fucking dress myself without my husband. I can't. I'm sorry that this isn't an exciting channel for you, but this is my real life. This is my real life. And this is the real life of so many other people who suffer with a chronic illness or chronic pain. And I am lucky that I can lean on the support of my husband and trust that he will be there. He may never know what to do. He's always asking, what can I do? And I'm always like, there's nothing else you can do, but just be supportive and not get aggravated with me when I say 3 things the same exact way in in a small time span, or just completely forget words. Oh, my eye is doing this stupid thing. I don't know if you guys can tell. I always say that and I watch the footage and I'm like, well, you can't see it at all. So I think that's where I'm struggling right now, is the finality of it all. And just knowing that those things I had just a little bit of hope about, that hope has been extinguished. And that's what's hard. I'm 45. And it's like, can I do this for another 45 years? Can I do this for another 40 years? Am I just merely existing? Like, what can I do to make it better? And that's why I'm like, let me set some routines and let me, put on makeup sometimes, and let me, just talk to you guys. Just let me do something that is just a little bit normal. And I honestly do think that's why I've been eating like shit. I think it's just been one more thing. Like, my body's like, nope. Brain's like, nope. We are done. This lobe of your brain is done. You may go back to your brainstem and stay there for the next 6 months, but no. I'm dreading the phone call from UT Southwestern. I'm completely dreading it. I keep my ringer on all day, every day, expecting it, and I haven't gotten it yet, and I shouldn't be surprised. And I am tempted to just be like, let me just call Oklahoma City, or let me just call Houston and talk to somebody and then go from there. And maybe I will. But again, that's a couple of days off for Rob, or at least one day off where he has to, because that's a 4.5 hour drive. So depending on how long the appointment was, he would probably want to come home, or we could stay with friends. I think they're in League City. I can't remember. We're in League. I don't remember where she is now. But yeah, so, or Oklahoma City. I have friends, my best friend lives in Oklahoma City. And it's like, do I really want to fuck around with UT Southwestern? I want to be where there are people who understand my disease. And while I'll probably only check in with them once a year or something like that, it's like, I need somebody who knows what they're doing. I need someone who knows what they're doing. I thought my hair was growing back. I've been using this hair growth shampoo and conditioner, and I think I've just been kidding myself. But look at the tree. It's so fucking pretty. I love it so much. You can see the top of our house. It leans a little. It's a little leaning. So yeah, so I just wanted to talk that out. I don't know if I'll post this or not, but if I do, it's like, there's so many things that aren't talked about. There's so many things that we're shamed for. I can remember almost having a panic attack, getting on a scooter at Sam's for the first time, and just concerned that someone was going to walk up to me and just say something ignorant. I told her, I was like, maybe I should just get a shirt that says what I have or whatever. I mean, that's dumb. I shouldn't have to make those kind of plans just to be left alone in public. You know, Rob does a really good job of, like, he'll drop me off. We'll park in the parking, like, handicap, and he'll drop me off, and then he'll go park somewhere else. Sometimes we have to stay in the handicap parking. The handicap parking at our Tom Thumb is dumb. So he parked, and I was like, I can walk in. I was like, but you're going to have to pick me up at the doors. Like, it's just too far. And we didn't take my rollator or anything. And these are the things that I have to plan for. And I guess this is my new normal. And it's not even new. It's kind of new. I needed to lay on my back for Rob to look at something. And I was like, I got to put my lidocaine patches on first, because if I lie back, it's just going to pinch that nerve and it hurts. Like, excuse me. I'm probably wiping all the skincare I just put on. That was another thing. Like, I stopped doing my skincare, and I stopped doing my body care, and I stopped, putting on makeup. I stopped doing all of these things that are for me. And that's one of the things that I have to help my therapist and I have to tackle that first thing, because why do I treat myself so poorly? I don't give myself grace. I just don't. And the only thing I can think of, and I don't know if we've had this conversation, and if we had, again, I'm sorry I repeat myself, but I knew from a young age I had to get out. And I knew the way to get out was an education. And I pushed and 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 pushed. And I've never been a perfectionist, but I'm a Taurus. So I want to finish what I started. There's so many, if you pull up Taurus, and I don't know the sun and moon and all that. I need to. I'm trying to learn it, but there's no spot in my brain for that right now, for sure. But it's like this. Oh, yeah, that. Like, just so many of them. I mean, I was never a perfectionist, but I want to finish things, and then I get down on myself if I couldn't do it or if I can't do it. I think a lot of it now is subconsciously, because maybe it is consciously, I don't know. But yeah, like there's just, I feel like I need a reset. It's only 10 after 8 and I'm exhausted. Trying to see if it'll show up on camera. I don't know if it is. Let me see. This isn't as bad as it normally is, but it's still really pulling that lid down. So yeah, I don't, maybe instead of full day of eating vlogs, you'll just get like a diary, dear diary. Dear future husband. Oh, the authorities. I was trying to think of, dear diary, the authorities have closed the door to the bedroom. They have forsaken me, or whatever it is. Those were so funny. All right. So, doctor tomorrow. I need to print out the test result. I meant to do that earlier so I can write down everything on it because I will forget. And then pain management on Friday. Still 10 out of 10, would not recommend a rhizotomy right now. Like, it's getting better, but just wearing a shirt today has aggravated the crap out of it, because it literally does feel like a really deep sunburn. That is that is the best way to describe it. It's just, even these little curly cues touching it is like, and I'm just trying to work through it, because it's like, listen, body, like I can only take one thing at a time. And right now, the nerve pain in my rib cage is the worst. Like, ooh. So, yeah. Again, I may or may not post this. I don't know. Just the finality of it all. The finality of it all. I can imagine being in your early 20s and this happens. You get an autoimmune disease or something. I can't even imagine. I guess I can count myself lucky that this started in my late 30s and I didn't really feel any effects of it until my late 30s, because I was 38 when it started. So I had, a fairly decent life, 7 years with Rob. It'll be 14 years on December 31st. I told my therapist that I really want to lighten his load, even if it's just lightening his mental load. Maybe I'm punishing myself because I feel like I'm a bad wife. Even with him, there's so many things we can't go and do. Like, we can't just up and go. Where did we go? I think we went to the Olive Garden. I was like, soup sounds good. Let's go have Olive Garden. And we barely made it to a 7-Eleven. It's like, I'm going to poop my pants in the car. It's like, ugh. So it's like, we can't even have any kind of life like that. There's no spontaneity for us either. And that's why one of my areas to focus on each month is relationship building or relationship harvesting, or, not growing. I don't know, like tending to relationships. That's something that's important to me, because that's literally basically all I have left are relationships. And, I need to just make sure that I'm a turtle. Apparently that's childhood trauma thing. procrastinating until the last minute to get something done. Also a childhood trauma thing. I used to do that in school all of the time. Be like the night before and I was finishing it. To be fair, I did have to sleep. Like I was working full time and going to school full time, and I did have to sleep. Our senior year, junior year, I don't remember. I worked 5 a.m. to 2 p.m. at a childcare center that was open 24 hours. And I would go home and I would do some homework and I would do something else. And then I would always fall asleep on the couch. And there were 2 friends that would call and be like, hey, are you up? Make sure you get up, have something to eat. We'll see you in class. And if they hadn't done that semester, I probably wouldn't have passed. You know, and it's just like, yeah, I've just always been busy. I've just always done things. And to, you know, about to start year 8 and not being able to do things is just, it's really hard. And again, now having this final diagnosis and knowing that there's nothing to make it better. We can alleviate some things and try to give me some muscle and stuff back, but it's not going to get any better. And I'm just going to have to deal with it. Deal with it in therapy. I really do think my word for 2024 is going to be self-awareness or self-care, one of the two. And not self-care in like, oh, I'm going to give I'm going to read my favorite book or I'm going to do a face mask. Self-care as in, am I not pushing myself too much every day? Like, am I brushing my teeth twice a day? And then there's a thing on Amazon that you flick it over to let you know if you've brushed your teeth in the morning, if you brushed your teeth in the afternoon. And I am seriously thinking about getting one because I'll have to like you guys, I will be sitting on the side of the bed. Because I sit on the side of the bed and my deodorant, lotion, perfume, all of that stuff's on my nightstand. I will put on deodorant and 5 seconds later go, Rob, did I put on deodorant? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, God damn it. 5 seconds. 5 seconds. Boy. All right. New glasses came in. I like one pair, don't like the other pair. So I ordered a couple other pair. I am going to get 2 pair. I think. I haven't decided yet. Rob thinks I should. I mean, these lasted. I didn't, famous last words. So yeah. And I have to be low carb because I need my lenses to go back down. So if you didn't know, when your blood sugar is high, your lenses swell. And the only reason why I know this is because when I moved to Tulsa, I finally had health insurance and I saw an endocrinologist for the first time. And she's like, I really want you to see an ophthalmologist. And I said, okay, cool. So I go to this ophthalmologist and they do like a regular eye exam and stuff. And he's like, okay, that's it. You're good to go. And I was like, what about glasses? And he said, what do you mean, what about glasses? I was like, I've worn glasses since I was 9 years old. And she was like, are you wearing contacts right now? I was like, no, I haven't worn contacts in a while. She's like, you have 20/20 vision. And I said, do what? I was like, I'm sorry, what did you say? She's like, you have 20/20 vision. You have 20/20 vision. And he explained it. He's like, when your blood glucose runs high, it causes your lenses in your eyes to swell. And it's true. Before I got on these, I had reading glasses from Dollar Tree and I had four different strengths depending on, you guys may remember seeing me wear them. And it's just because when I eat carbs, the lenses, like I have to be at least a month off of carbs for my eyesight to go back to normal. And that is another thing that I fuck around with when I eat carbs, and I just really have to stop. I have to deal with the finality of it all. I just really hope and pray that there's nothing that serious down the pipeline. I'm telling you this because I've told Rob this, and I think I said this in another vlog. If I become terminal, I will die with dignity. However that looks. I will not allow myself to waste away in a hospital bed and suffer for 3 or 4 months for no good reason. Like, I will not. I will not. I refuse. I will not. My grandmother did that, and I will not subject myself or Rob to the same damn thing. I won't do it. Or Bo, my brother. I won't do it. I won't do it. And I got to handle one thing at a time, one day at a time. And that means I need to get off here because it's almost 8:30. I need to be up at 6:45, I think, to get up and get a shower. Our doctor is literally like, I don't know, 2 blocks away. He's very, very close. Actually, that's why Rob picked the doctor. Like, he started seeing him first. And he can walk to his appointment. He has to drive me, but he can walk to his. And I was like, is he nice? And he was like, I don't know. It's like, God damn it. Poot. Anywho, this video was probably much of a downer, and I probably would end up not posting it. Maybe I'll do some things like this where I just talk to the camera and work it out in my head and just, yeah. The finality of it all.